What's good, my licky me? Welcome back to another lovely, beautiful, sexy, amazing video with equally lovely, equally beautiful, equally sexy, and equally amazing LiTTyENT. I already know what time it is. Now let's go. And I'm not gonna lie, it's looking like this beef between Central and aitch was nothing but a whole bunch of baloney. And we're gonna break it down in way more detail. Already know what you gotta do. You just gotta like, comment, subscribe, drop a banger like this one, and hit that note because you're in the so you can be the first to know when these videos comes out. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I am very disappointed. It's been 2 weeks since aitch dropped his A Guy Called diss track on Central Cee, and it's been crickets from Central Cee in terms of a response. The most we got is him commenting underneath the Instagram post of the diss track saying fair enough, and I don't even think YB's responded to the diss track, and YB's was getting cooked in that diss track, I'm not gonna lie. And then this got me thinking that it's highly likely that this whole beef had been extremely fabricated from the very beginning. We can assume that Central's team and aitch's team were in contact. They probably showed him the diss track beforehand, or sorry, I should say the track where aitch was mentioned, and then they probably even agreed on how far the disses in aitch's response track could even go. Of course, from the base layer, we can look at it as Central Cee dissing aitch causes Central Cee's album numbers to boost, because even the people who weren't necessarily going to listen to the album in the first place would end up going to listen to the album to hear the track where he has dissed aitch. But then also, obviously, aitch benefits from it as well, because I believe aitch got like a top 40 track from that diss track. So essentially, it's advantageous to everyone involved. Now, of course, if anyone would be capable of faking a beef for clout, it would be Central Cee. It's definitely not his first faking things rodeo, you know what I mean? Like, he of course faked the whole scandal with Ice Spice and Madeline RG and Kenza as well. That whole thing happened last year. And then of course aitch is also not immune to faking things for clout, because remember last year when he faked some girl writing stuff on his Maybach in with her red lipstick or something like that, and it was like promo for a song or something, like bonkers. To be honest, this is all just very goofy goober kind of behavior. Like, I really just don't see the point or what Central would really gain from doing this per se. I mean, I'm sure that it boosted up the conversation around the album slightly, I guess, but I don't know if aitch is as big enough of a star in the UK, or maybe not. I wouldn't say that, because aitch is quite a big name in the UK. Maybe not necessarily that he's that much of a star, but that he's that much of a lyrical draw. I don't know if it was worth sacrificing the integrity of the album to beef someone that people don't really care that you have beef with necessarily. Like, it's not like he did it to beef with Digga D, you know what I mean? Like, it's aitch. Nobody really looks at aitch as a lyrical threat. Like, I'm just being honest. I'm like, not even, no disrespect to aitch, but like, nobody looks at aitch like how we look at Chip, as like, you don't want to see Chip at the petrol station. If I saw aitch at the petrol station, I'd probably think he's filling up his car. Like, I'd be so real. I'm just saying. I'd probably think that video is a vlog of him, of him filling up his Maybach, you know what I mean? But as I said, if it was like Central Cee going against Digga D, then I can respect that a bit more, because at least we know they've had some real life beef. Like, even if they, I don't know, spoke behind the scenes and he said, look, I'm going to go at you on the album and then you can come back at me, but let's keep it strictly music and let's just see who comes out of this being hailed as the better rapper. Which, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't find that situation ideal per se, but I'd respect that a lot more than the whole fabricated nonsense between him and aitch, because at least you can't find any pictures online of Digga D and Central Cee, you know, chilling together, throwing up gang signs. We at least know there's some deep-rooted beef there that's just been waiting to bubble up. But I do say all of this to say, I just think UK rappers got to a point where we probably won't see a real beef between two like heavy hitters in the UK, pause. Maybe not until like the 2030s, I'll be so real. Because I mean, like, if you look at the top people in UK rap right now, you know, the Daves, the Stormzys, the Hussies, the Skeptors, and I'm not saying that they're doing bits right now, I'm just saying, you know, just because of their names or what they've done in the past, they're all pretty much friends with each other, so you're not really gonna see them beefing each other per se, unless they had like a serious falling out, and even then I don't think they'd be taking it to music. I'll be so honest. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not promoting, you know, peace, love and unity between the black community, but I mean, you know, like in American hip-hop, there's so many different big guys in that industry, pause, that you can have multiple different factions in the US that don't like each other, but they can still operate in their own lanes and still be just as successful as one another. But I feel like in the UK, because the market share is a lot smaller, it's pretty hard for you to be a big guy in your own lane in the UK and to not cool with like the Stormzys, the Daves, the Skeptors, etc. And not even necessarily being friends with those people, but I mean, like, you have to at least be cool with them to some degree. Like, we haven't really seen anyone break through who's not cool with guys like that. And when I say breakthrough, I mean breakthrough and like rise to the top. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are small exceptions. Of course, Digga D is not cool with Central Cee. I don't think he's cool with AJ Tracey at the moment. He said he rates Stormzy, but he wouldn't get on the Stormzy tape because Stormzy did a song with Dave, and Dave's cool with Central Cee, and obviously don't like Central Cee, so there's a whole different beef going on there. But then again, you do see the repercussions of that because Digga D still isn't, he hadn't had like a top 5 single, you know what I mean?
Cap.
Well, actually, he has. He did have one with AJ Tracey, but then that's exactly my point. When you're friends and when you're cool with these people, then you're able to excel. And when you're not, then you don't really see the similar levels of success. You might see hints of it, like we saw with him getting a top 10 with Pump 101, but he hasn't necessarily been able to replicate that success over and over in recent times. But then again, he has been in jail for like his whole career, so take that with a grain of salt also. But I say all of that to say, long story short, you're probably not going to get a proper UK rap beef for a while because no one in the UK is willing to put their career and their rapping ability on the line to really show and prove that they're the best. And I think Stormzy set a really bad precedent when he didn't respond to Chip, because anyone knew who's coming into the scene, who saw that as like watch Stormzy and that be their like inspiration to be a rapper in the UK. They've seen him come in and ignore Chip, who we would consider one of the best people when it comes to UK rap beef. Now these new gen rappers that are coming in, they're going to think, well, I don't have to respond to him. Stormzy didn't respond. Why do I got to respond to him? Like, so yeah, I think Stormzy set a really bad precedent where people are going to think they can just ignore someone who's beefing with them if they're on a bigger mainstream scale than the artist that's trying to beef with them, which is quite a bad precedent to send, I'll be so real. But in the words of anyone,
it's a bit of a sticky one still.
But let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. What do you think about what I've discussed? Do you think the Central Cee versus H beef was fake? Do you think that UK rap beef is not going to happen anymore? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. But on the road to 3,000 subs, you know what time. Just follow my personal IG at LiTTyENT. If you care about what I do, I'm not making these bangers for you. I post updates on Twitter as well, so you might as well follow me on X. What you doing in your life? Absolutely nothing, mate. I bet. Peace.
Oh, you ain't know I could sing?